Hello and welcome back to J.P.'s World of Wrestling. I am your man, J.P. And the reason I'm doing this video is because on my recent release of a action figure match video, one of you have requested that I do a video showing my collection and showing my roster. Actually, you asked where I keep my wrestlers and who's on my roster. Well, I'm going to show you. And the reason why this is kind of at a little bit of a different angle than normal is because my bed is right here and that's where they're laying out. So I can just kind of reach over and show to. That way I wouldn't have to reach over real far. So anyway, but yeah, I'm going to start with the Galoobs. I'm going to move on to Hasbro. Then I'll show you my Mattel Retros. And I've done videos where I've showed these before. But on those videos, I've kind of just talked a lot about these figures, which ones are good, which ones are bad. I'm not going to do that this time. This time, I'm just going to simply show you the ones that I have. But the first part of that question, where do we keep them? I actually keep them in this milk crate. And, excuse me, I know that I need to have something bigger. And I'm not going to put them up on a shelf just yet because my wife and I are probably going to move out of this apartment soon, probably early next year. So I'm not going to bother putting up a shelf just yet. And we're going to try to get into a house. So then I'll have more room and more leeway to put up a shelf and display these figures. Anyway. But yeah, again, so I'm going to start with the Galoobs. And I'll start with, I've got Lex Luger. And then I've got Ron Simmons. I've got Flying Brian. That makes too much noise. I think I'm just going to set him down. I don't know. Anyway, I actually have two Lex Lugers. But I also have the Stinger. Sting. I have Barry Windham. And I have Sid Vicious. I have both Steiner brothers. And I have Ric Flair. And somewhere, I don't know where he is at the moment, but I have Arn Anderson as well. I don't know where he is, but I do have Arn Anderson, so just make note of that. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to Hasbro's. And I actually have more Hasbro's than Galoobs, so. And up first we have the Big Boss Man. And I actually have two of those. And then we have Jake the Snake Roberts, and I actually have two of these as well. And then we have Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Again, I have two of these. And then we have the Bushwhackers, Luke and Butch. And then we have newly crowned Intercontinental Champion, the British Bulldog. And then I have Hasbro Ric Flair. And then I have Rowdy Roddy Piper. And I have two of these as well. And here's a Galoob that I forgot. Z-Man, Tom Zink. But getting back to Hasbro's, I've got Typhoon. I've got Greg the Hammer Valentine. And then I've got Hulk Hogan #1 and Hulk Hogan #3. And then I have the $1 Million Man #2. And then I have Crush. There we go with the Sergeant Slaughter. Superfly, Jimmy Snuka. And then we've got the Honky Tonk Man. And then we've got the Rocker, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. There's my second Jake. Okay, now we move on to the Mattel Retros. So I'll start with a non-wrestler, manager Jimmy Hart. And then we've got good old mean Gene Okerlund. And then I've got both Hart Foundation, Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart. And then I have Kurt Angle. And I have the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. And then I've got Nikolai Volkov. I've got Nikolai Volkov's tag team partner, the Iron Sheik. Then I have 6, NWO 6. Got Goldberg, Seth Rollins, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Sheamus, Dean Ambrose, aka John Moxley, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, AJ Styles, and Chris Jericho. And that will conclude all of my Hasbro-esque figures, like the ones that are the size of Hasbro's. And I can't believe, I don't know where my Arn Anderson is, but I do have it. It's somewhere. It's probably, I've got a pile of clothes down here. It's probably underneath my clothes. So anyway, oh, and I also have this special black WrestleMania retro ring. And then I've got a blue retro ring, which I'm not going to reach over and show you that, but because you know that I have it. Anyway, but yeah, that is my collection of Galoob / Hasbro / Mattel Retros. I also have a few San Francisco Toy Maker figures, WCW. I also have a few LJN figures. I don't have many. I think I have 4. Plus I have the special AEW Cody Rhodes LJN figure. So anyway, that is my collection. That's my roster. So if any of you would like to see a specific match involving any of those I just showed you, plus Arn Anderson, let me know in the comments, and I'll do a match. Now, for those of you who are into my retro content, that being movies, TV shows, whatever, I'll probably talk about music as well. I'm probably going to be starting a second YouTube channel where I just talk about retro things, where I'm talking about movies or TV shows or memories of growing up in the 80s and 90s. And that's, I'll probably do that sometime in the future because I just like talking about that stuff. But it's not really the kind of thing that people seem to enjoy on this channel. So on this channel, that you guys pretty much seem to just like the wrestling. So I'm probably just going to try to stick with that. So anyway, that's it. That's my collection. That's my roster. You want to see a match? Leave it in the comments below. And I will see you next time. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Just like I told you, here he is. Arn Anderson. I knew I had him. He wasn't under a pile of clothes, but he was underneath my bed. How he got there, I don't know, but nevertheless, there he is. Double A Arn Anderson.